ever wonder if it's worth it to buy one of these frozen lasagnas or buy all of these and make it yourself? If you purchase one of these on sale, this is 6 pounds of lasagna for $11.50. I bought it from Sam's Club. And over here, the cost of all of these ingredients is $14.75. That's only picking the ground beef and not the sausage. I just left them both out as an option. I did find my tomatoes at Dollar Tree of all places for $1.25. Otherwise, you would pay more for these. Of course, you could save some money by doing your own home canned tomatoes like this one, and you could make your own noodles and save $2 that way. But when it comes to turning on the oven, throwing this in and walking away versus doing all of this,
yeah, what should I do?
Oh, Ross, it seems pretty clear.
Here's my lasagna pan. At first glance, it does look like my pan is gonna make way more. I think this is a 13 by 18, and look how deep it is. Found it at a garage sale for $3. And when I saw it, I was like, that's the perfect lasagna pan. And while this one is very, very heavy, it is, I mean, just the whole thing can fit in there. So it is possible I end up with more over here. This one claims it's 12 servings. I mean, it kind of looks like food you get at camp, right? Exactly. There's a big hole right here. So in a pot, I have browning sausage and beef, because I think the sausage adds a little something to it. I'm gonna add 1 full onion and maybe a tablespoon of chopped garlic and cook these together until the onions are soft and translucent. Now, while my sauce is cooking over there, I'm gonna put together my cheese for the layers. I personally prefer cottage cheese to ricotta. I don't like the grainy texture ricotta gets when it's cooked.
Interesting texture.
You could, of course, use jarred spaghetti sauce. You can. I just think this one tastes better, so I will go through the extra effort to make a sauce that tastes really, really good. And because it takes a while to make the sauce, this is also what I'll do. I'm actually doubling it right now. I'm only gonna use the amount I talked to you about, but I'm gonna freeze the rest. So the next time I make lasagna, it's not gonna take quite as long. So I have 2.5 cups of cottage cheese in here. Use whatever brand you want. And to that, I'm adding a heaping 1/2 cup of fresh grated Parmesan. Tastes better than the Kraft shaky stuff. I do have an entire tablespoon of Italian seasoning. Gonna stir all that together, put some saran wrap on top or a lid, chuck it in the fridge, and wait until I'm ready for it. Okay, now that my beef and onions are done, I'm ready for the next ingredient, tomatoes. What's the date on these? February 2022. It's fine.
Fine. Did somebody die? Who died? Nobody died, Mom. Everyone we know is fine.
I do have 1 quart of home canned tomatoes. I feel like crushed tomatoes are really thick, and I need a little bit extra liquid in this. Plus, I got some on the bottom of this still. So what if I just take the water here, give that a swoosh, get all the little goodness out of it. Okay, I will also do 1 full tablespoon of Italian seasoning, bloop, in here. You can break it up, basil, oregano, whatever, but good night. I've been trying to get rid of this forever. Also 2022, what is my problem? I should not buy Italian seasoning in this large of a container. I just don't use it that often. I'm more of a 1 spice kind of gal. I realize sugar is controversial. I'm still gonna do like 2 tablespoons. Remember, this is like 2 batches in here because it's what I've always done. So I'm gonna keep doing it.
You can't stop me now. Listen to me now.
Okay, at this stage, we need to bring to boil, reduce to simmer, cover with the lid, and this is gonna simmer for like 45 minutes. I need to get it soft enough so I can mush up these whole tomatoes. A potato masher works perfectly for that. And you'll notice I did not add salt. There's salt in the cottage cheese, there's salt in the mozzarella, there's salt in the Parmesan, there's salt actually in the sausage that I use, there's salt in the canned tomatoes. I've never added salt to my sauce and it's always turned out okay. So I'm just gonna continue, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You can't stop me now. Listen to me now.
45 minutes for the simmer. I'll see you then. I think we are there. And yeah, it's a little liquidy, but you'll see why I do that in just a second. I have gathered all of my ingredients, my noodles, which are raw, which means not cooked even a little bit, so the extra liquid in the sauce is perfectly acceptable. I have my shredded mozzarella cheese. You can shred your own. I just happen to have that one in the freezer, our mixture we made earlier, extra Parmesan, and let's build. I frequently like to double and triple this and make like 2 extras and throw them in the freezer. Back when I was a newlywed, I didn't have the money to buy lasagna noodles, so I looked up, I think a recipe in a Betty Crocker cookbook maybe, and made my own noodles. It's so good to make your own noodles. Okay, we're gonna go half. So I did just a layer of sauce, a layer of pasta. Half of my cottage cheese mixture here is gonna go in. Ideally, that would be spread out really well, you know. You know what? You could blend the cottage cheese and make it smoother. That's like the hot new thing on the social medias, right? And I'm using a 1 cup measuring cup here, and then rinse and repeat with all of our layers. So here's why I don't make lasagna very often. First of all, I find the layering takes a long time. I used to make it a lot when I was first married because it makes a ton and everybody likes it. And then for 4 summers, I worked at Boy Scout camp for the entire summer. Every week we were on a rotating menu. Every week was the same. Every Sunday night was lasagna, like the frozen lasagna, right? And then on Wednesday, because we were right next to Yellowstone National Park, all the troops had off on Wednesdays, which meant the staff, i.e. me, and my family ate leftovers. And guess what was always left over? You guessed it, lasagna. So I had lasagna no less than twice a week for an entire summer times 4 years. I was lasagnaed out. Oh my gosh, I had the perfect number of lasagna noodles. How often does that happen? Never! I'm gonna go kind of heavy on this top layer to make sure all my noodles get coated. And remember, a little extra soupy, totally fine. My noodles are raw, so they're going to cook like in the sauce, right? Okay, last little bit of mozzarella, and then the very last thing is a sprinkle of the fresh Parmesan on top. I do like to cook this covered in foil at 350 for 30 minutes. Take the foil off, go another 15 minutes, and then pull the pan out and let it sit for like 20, so the layers can kind of stick together. Otherwise, the whole thing will just fall apart. And here comes my Parmesan on the very, very top. There is my homemade lasagna. Into the oven it goes. So I have a bunch of these freezer molds that make freezing chicken broth and sauce really, really easy. So I'm just gonna pour my sauce in these, freeze them, and then pop them out in freezer bags. So the next time I wanna make lasagna, I don't have to go through the sauce process. I can just get to the building. This is the Stouffer's one, totally cooked. I'm gonna let it sit and like come together for 20 minutes. It doesn't look awesome. Why does it look like the noodles like fell off on this side? Okay, homemade one, 30 minutes and I'll take the foil off. Friends, here are the completed lasagnas. This one does look better, the homemade one. It's significantly larger because I used pre-shredded cheese. The cheese didn't melt great, but I'm gonna ignore that. However, I'm gonna save all of my judgments until we taste both. I would say for convenience sake, don't cook the frozen one from frozen. Takes a really long time. Like thaw it in the fridge overnight and then cook it, way less time. Let's do the taste test.
I don't know about the store-bought one. Yours is good. Yours is way better.
That's not lasagna.
That's what I thought.
It kind of looks like SpaghettiO sauce,
It
doesn't
tastes
it?
like spaghetti. Like spaghetti that's not very good.
Yeah, it's like not even lasagna.
So are you saying this lasagna is not lasagna-ing?
No.
Yeah. It's giving wrong.
It's giving weird spaghetti. If I were to serve you this one, because I didn't have time, would you eat it?
I'd eat it, but
I'd eat it, but not enjoyably.
But if I made this one, you would say...
it'd be done. That one, honestly, like 4.
4 out of 10. This one.
11.
On a scale of 1 to 10, you are an 11.
8.
8. What?
What were you expecting?
Whoa. Not an 8. I'm fighting words.
9.5. What were you expecting?
10?
It's 8.
Oh no.
8.5.
Oh.
No, 8.5 maybe.
Oh, I'm just gonna go hide in my room.
Okay, the Stouffer's Frozen is a solid pre-made lasagna. I've always liked it. So you have to balance time versus health, right? I do think your lasagna is more healthy for you.
Okay.
The preservatives in a pre-packaged lasagna is going to be through the roof.
Even though it costs more. It costs more money to make the homemade lasagna.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Because it tastes better.
Oh yeah.
What do you say we finish the video by taste testing holiday ice cream sandwiches?
Now I'm not typically an ice cream sandwich lover,
I will have no blasphemy at this table.
but you had me at eggnog.
Peppermint ice cream sandwiches, pumpkin ice cream sandwich, eggnog. ice cream sandwich. Can I get an amen?
Why does the pumpkin have 170 calories and the eggnog has 110?
The eggnog is a diet ice cream sandwich? Say less.
Pumpkin.
Let's do pumpkin. Okay, I'm really disturbed by the fact that it's like all beige. Sad beige. Wow. Okay. Why? Oh, yeah. No, it's pumpkin. That is pumpkin pie.
That's good.
That is an acceptable pumpkin.
That's good.
At least it tastes like pumpkin.
It does taste like pumpkin. An eggnog.
Oh yeah, that's eggnog.
Is it though?
That is totally eggnog.
It's not very
It's
eggnog.
pretty subtle.
It's pretty light on the eggnog. Eggnog base. Oh, are you ready for the eggnog base? Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup,
Oh,
natural flavor, egg yolk.
It's pretty good though.
That one's fine.
not bad.
I love chocolate peppermint. Cannot get enough. We actually have a chocolate ice cream sandwich. I am very bad at opening. How come these open so badly?
Let me do. What? Well, the question is, does it look like the picture? The picture definitely looks more appetizing. It has more red,
More sparkly.
Yeah.
Red sparkles.
Peppermint chunks is what I
Smells
meant
like,
to say.
Smells like peppermint.
Whoa, that tastes like a candy cane.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it.
Would recommend.
Yeah.
You can't really lose.
No, you really can't lose. Frugal Fit Fam out.